Hi, this is Eddie from Big Ed's Barbecue in Waukegan, Illinois, and you are listening to the Geekcast Radio Network, sucker.
Hey, it's Mistress Carrie, and you are listening to Studio 2009.
See if you bastards can do 90.
Hello and welcome back into our studio. You are now inside Studio 2009, only on the Geekcast Radio Network. I am TFG and Mike. Joining me once again, as always, is Mr. David Draper. Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm doing all right. How about you?
Pretty good, pretty good. In the continuity of the podcast, you would have heard Dave 2 episodes ago in episode 183 when we did the 50th anniversary of Jaws.
Jeez.
And
this is weird.
Yeah, folks, this is episode 185, and we are celebrating the 40th anniversary of Back to the Future today. And I didn't tell Dave about this beforehand. I guess I should have warned him, but just go with it, folks. Today we lace up our Nikes, we eat our Wheaties, and we'll grab a Big Mac on the way to... Oh, wait, wrong movie. That movie wouldn't happen until 11 years later. Great Scott, this is heavy. Are you telling me you built a time machine out of a DeLorean? Yes, folks.
You know, I thought, first of all, the metal structure, and secondly, I thought if you're going to build a time machine, might as well do it with a style.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
One of the things I love about this movie is I'm not a car, and maybe it's just me. I don't know, because I'm not a car guy.
Okay.
I think it was it was sometime into the 90s that I realized the joke of that line.
Uh-huh.
Because, my first introduction to the DeLorean was Back to the Future.
Right. Mine too.
It was the coolest car I'd ever seen. I remember when I was in college, we saw a DeLorean at the mall. And I was like, that's so cool. I didn't realize that the DeLorean sucked. And the whole reason that it was a joke because it was like a Ford Edsel or a Pinto,
Yep. Yeah.
Like now it would be like a Cybertruck. Like you made a time machine out of a Cybertruck? 14-year-old me, I thought it was the coolest goddamn thing I'd ever seen in my life. It was like, this is the coolest car I want when I grow up. And it's like, I didn't know it was a joke.
Yeah. Oh God, I didn't even think when they first unveiled that with the silver and the angles, I didn't even think of, oh my God, could you imagine? Thank God Dark Brown had more style than that. Oh boy.
Well, they didn't exist back then. And
no, I know.
We won't get a remake. We won't get a remake until
no.
Crud, I just forgot his name. What's his name dies? Not Zemeckis. The guy who wrote it. Bob Gale. Yeah, they've sort of have a blood pact. They will never remake it.
No, they will never remake it.
Which is a shame because I think 2015 would have been the perfect time to do it. Because in part 2 they go to 2015.
Yep.
Like you could still do and it would have been cool because then they would have gone back to 85.
Mm-hmm.
Would have been this is one of those movies where my mom really loved it because she grew up in the 50s.
Right.
So it would have been cool to have that same kind of, it's the 80s, for us. Yep. Also you could do the same joke. It could be who's president? Barack Obama. And it's like, what do those words even mean?
Yeah. So, folks, just to let you know, here inside Studio 2009, we are doing the entire trilogy.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious shit.
All right, folks, TFG and Mike from the future. I have to pump the brakes on this DeLorean really quick because I have to let you know it is now currently 2026 when I am editing this episode. I am so sorry, as everyone should know by now. I am 1 year out from editing everything we published, or not published, but everything we produced for content on the podcast in 2025. So as Dave and I are mentioning that it's the 40th anniversary of Back to the Future, it is actually the 41st anniversary of Back to the Future. So please don't dox us in the comments, because this podcast is a year old. And since recording this episode, I now have the trilogy of films on 4K, and they look amazing in 4K. Absolutely amazing. Now, back to the show.
Crazy drunk driver.
This is the 40th anniversary of the first film. I don't do, like, I will online through typing or whatever, I will do, hey, this is the 31st or the 32nd or the 33rd anniversary of whatever the thing is. But on podcasts, I don't do that. I only do anniversaries in 10, 20, 30, 40, 25, 35. I only do it in 10s and 5s kind of thing. I don't do the 32nd anniversary of this blah, blah, blah for a podcast episode. I just don't do that. However, we are going to do the second film, and then we will do the 35th anniversary of the third film. So we are doing the entire trilogy with myself and Dave. And for the second film, my intro to that, oh boy, it's going to be a doozy. Quick question. I don't remember, even though we've been friends a long ass time. Are you an only child, or do you have siblings?
I'm an only child.
Okay, so we are both only children. Well, then that photograph means nothing to us.
Oh, the one where the siblings disappear?
Yeah, I was gonna see if either one, like if you had siblings, if we were gonna have any kind of allegory to the photograph, if it was gonna mean anything. But yeah, no. Oh well.
Well, I mean, I understood the concept of siblings.
Well, yeah, we understand the concept, but like as he's going through that part of, we're not even to that part of the movie, but like as he's going during that part of the movie when he's like, "Ow, my arm! I can't play anymore," and
well, that's the end of the film. Like that's
no, I know, but I'm saying like I couldn't remember if you were lonely only like me, or if you had siblings, to where we could actually discuss like the actual ramifications of all of that. Back to the Future, along with Transformers and Star Trek and a bunch of other things, has been a backbone of the Geekcast Radio Network since our inception, June 1st, 2009. We launched our movie podcast at the time back then, July 11th, 2009. Movie Week in Review, Episode 1. Was the Back to the Future trilogy, where myself, Steve Megatron, and our other friend Steve Saylor, we all discussed the trilogy back then. We have discussed the trilogy over and over and over again. And in, I think it was when did that happen? Back to sometime in, when was that first issue? It was not then. In 2015, surprisingly enough, IDW Publishing launched along with Bob Gale. I'm pretty sure he was writing on that. I don't know who else was at the time, but IDW Publishing launched a Back to the Future comic book series. And I have the list of the collected editions as of what they published, because we did the Pull Bag podcast in trade paperback for the coverage for when we covered it stuff. So it had 5. The main series had 5 total trade paperbacks: Untold Tales and Alternate Timelines, Continuum Conundrum, Who is Marty McFly, Hard Time, and then Time Served. It had 2 like one-off kind of things, one called Citizen Brown and then one called Biff to the Future, so 2 miniseries, which Biff to the Future was awesome. Absolutely love that. And then it had a one-time crossover, Transformers Back to the Future, which is how you got Gigawatt.
Have the toy.
Yes. So those are the comics. Back to the Future, the first film, 1985, July 3rd, 1985. I didn't even have to look at the Wikipedia for that one. This film is 116 minutes. It had a budget. This movie had a budget of $19 million. Now, I know generally, even now, 19 million is a lot of money, but back then, 19 million was a lot of money.
It was a decent chunk. It was. I mean, Jedi, which came out a couple years earlier, like 2 years earlier, was 30 something, 36, I think. Yeah, it was a big chunk. It was a chunk of money. Mm-hmm. They didn't make $100 million movies back then.
Whoops. I almost, when you said Jedi, my first typing of the three letters was not R-E-T, it was R-E-V. I'm like, wait, that's not how that's spelled. Jedi the budget ranged according to this 32.5 to 42.7, and it made 482 million. But yeah, Back to the Future had a budget of 19 million, made 398 million, so profitable.
Oh yeah,
obviously. I was 5 years old when this movie came out. You were
14.
You were 14. Wow. Yeah. I did not see this movie until I think the second one was in theaters. So I was 9 years old in 1989. I remember seeing this on VHS at the time. So
I saw it in theaters back in the day. I've saw it in concert. Like they do a thing where, like, I think I've mentioned this before, where they'll take the soundtrack out, not the audio, but not the dialogue, but the music, and then the local symphony will play the soundtrack. And they do that in St. Louis a lot. I don't know. I know they do it in other places because a couple of movies have gone on tour, but like I do St. Louis because. But anyway, that was the first one I ever did was Back to the Future.
Awesome!
And it was cool because Bob Gale is from St. Louis, and he came out before the movie and did a little introductory, like how, like the whole thing was he was going through his dad's stuff in the attic, and he found his dad's yearbook from high school. He saw a picture of him, and he's like, "I wonder if we would have been friends." And that was how he came up with the idea for Back to the Future.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, it's always nice when you get to hear the stuff from the people that made the film. I've always loved that kind of stuff. I love directors' commentary. Especially with movies I've seen a million times. I've seen this movie a lot in the last 40 years. I don't often watch it a lot. In the preparation for this, when I watched this movie, this is a movie. Back to the Future is a movie I didn't like. I watched it last night. I didn't feel like I had to watch it because as I was watching it, I literally remembered every line, every scene, everything about this because it is so ingrained in me. Like all three of these movies, there's nothing that I have forgotten in the last 40, 35, X number of years, decades, because it's just always been with me. It always has. Before this, the last time I saw Back to the Future was probably about 5 or 10 years ago, maybe. Technically, I could safely say the last time I saw it was when we did it for the first episode of Movie We Can Review back in 2009. But between 2009 and now, I would probably say the last time I just turned it on to turn it on was probably somewhere around 2012, 2013.
They had I just saw it. I literally just saw it in the theaters. They re-released it for the 40th, and I got the popcorn bucket. Is a very, very generous term for this thing. It's got a little slide out. It's the DeLorean. It's got a little tiny slide out tray that holds maybe a handful of kernels. And we were supposed to see it in IMAX. I was told it was going to be in IMAX. We went to the IMAX theater. We were sitting there. And about halfway through the trailers, I was like, I did not realize that Back to the Future was a Japanese movie. Every trailer was like, Fathom, anime this, anime that, and I'm like, this is a lot of anime for Back to the Future. And my friend who bought the tickets checked, and he's like, oh, it's not in IMAX. We're in the wrong theater. So we also saw Chainsaw Man.
Oh no!
But fortunately, we got into the right theater in time, and we saw Back to the Future on a big screen, not the big screen, but and big screen.
So
but yeah, it was fun. It's weird because like the last two times I've seen this film have been in the theater.
Yeah,
I haven't really like revisited it on video for a long time. Like I haven't revisited a lot of when I was a kid, or when I was a teenager, and I had a VCR. There are probably a dozen, maybe 20 movies that I watched over and over again, and Back to the Future was on that list. I think once I got through college, I stopped doing that. But like Back to the Future, Raiders, Jaws, the Star Wars movies, I would watch them constantly. And honestly, because we did this, we were going to do this. We've been talking about doing this all summer. It's been like after I saw the movie in the theaters, I was like, I want to watch 2 and 3. But I wanted to wait until we got to that point where we were going to record, so I could be a little more fresh.
Right. Yeah. So my plan was, and unfortunately, my medical issues.
Stuff happened.
No. Well, between my medical issues, my financial issues, and other issues, this year, because it is the 40th of the first film, all 3 movies were released on 4K, and I had my thing for the last 4 or 5 years has been getting discs on 4K, getting physical media, because you never know when the internet is going to go down completely and you can't watch your streaming services or you can't watch your digital media that you buy.
I am 100% on board with that. I just don't. Okay. I'm not all 4K about it, but other than that,
okay. Yeah. No. I understand you're not, and I get that. But when this was announced I was like, oh, great, awesome. When it got time to do the pre-order, I'm like, okay, I'll pre-order it. When it got time to the pre-order come out, I'm like, crap, I don't have it. So I had to cancel the pre-order. I wanted to get it on 4K. And then I was like, okay, I have to watch these movies. Where am I watching these movies? And I've known that I've had them on Fandango for the longest time, used to be Vudu. And I looked at it and I'm like, crap, I only have it in standard definition. Like I bought them like years ago. Like just years ago when it was just nothing but standard definition. And I was like, okay, so where are they streaming? They got to be streaming somewhere. It's Back to the freaking Future. I mean, come on. So at least until the end of the month, Netflix has them streaming all 3 movies. And I'm like, oh, good. We're going to be doing this within the next week and a half, or less. So good. I can watch all 3 movies in whatever definition that's higher than standard that Netflix has. But I do plan on getting them. I do plan on getting the trilogy pack on 4K eventually, hopefully for Christmas. But yeah, no, it's like, I don't know. Back to the Future, it's in my blood, like a lot of the other stuff that I love. And are these there are some movies that I can put on as background noise because I've seen them. So like Transformers, the movie, as much as I love that movie, at this point, it's kind of background for me because I've analyzed it so much over the past 39 years. I've discussed it so much over the past 17 years of me being a podcaster. I don't need to, there's really, other than the same stuff I've said in the last 17 years, there's not much more. There's not many more angles that I'm wondering what Shout Factory is going to do for a release next year for the 40th anniversary of Transformers, the movie, because they released the ultimate whatever cut of the movie it was for the last anniversary. I'm like, what else can you guys do other than have the stuff pop out of our TV screens? I don't know. But anyway, yeah, Back to the Future. What did you remember most about the first film before catching up with it this time?
I'm the music. I definitely like. I love the Alan Silvestri theme.
Yep.
The car. It's weird because like I say that I remember the car, but I really think I remember the one from the second film. With the Mr. Fusion.
Yep.
Because whenever I see because I've got I've got various models and toys of the DeLorean, and it's always like I'll notice something. I'm like, I don't remember ever seeing that. I don't remember that in the movie. I don't remember it's like little things that look like missiles on the side, and it's like what are those? But I definitely remember the car. I remember probably my strongest memories are of the sequence at the Twin Pines Mall, the beginning when you first see the car. Marty and Doc, and establishing, Einstein going through time, all that stuff up until he goes to the 1950s is probably my strongest memories. And then at the end, when he's going back, when the whole, they're getting the car ready and the tree falls and it screws up the extension cords. I don't think of a proper name for them. And Doc's fun, like that sequence at the end and the sequence at the beginning are the two that I have the strongest memories of. I love the little details. It was because it's the Twin Pine Mall, and then at the end he runs back to the Lone Pine Mall.
The Lone Pine Mall.
He smashed one of the pines.
Yep.
On the way out. Little stuff like they do that again I know they do that again in part 3. Where's the Eastwood Gorge? It's poor Clint Eastwood. But those are the ones I have the strongest memories of. I kind of I knew that stuff happened before then, but it's sort of it was interesting. Like that stuff at the beginning, kind of I don't want to say drags, but it's longer than I thought it was. The stuff about him going to school, going to Doc's place, or going to Doc's place, then going to school. And then his family, and it's all very important stuff to establish.
Yeah.
Because you're setting up all the stuff that's going to be different down the road. That's the whole point, is to establish this sort of really unfortunate reality for Marty. Lyon Estates is kind of a crappy place to live, which is funny because it's like a rundown place in Marty's time, and then when he goes back in time, it's like the wonderful homestead of the future, Lyon Estates, coming soon. It's kind of scary how quickly a place can go downhill in 30 years. Yeah, that's the stuff that I remember. I remember the science fiction-y stuff with the car the most. I think the car is my favorite part of the movie, and when the theme song is pumping and the car is racing, that's the movie for me.
Yeah,
I am aware of all the 1950s stuff. It's cute. They give him a hard time because his vest looks like a life jacket. I'd like a Pepsi free. You got to pay for it. Just give me a tab. You got to buy something before I can start chasing. I love that kind of dialogue where he's trying to order something from the 80s and they have no idea what he's talking about. There's little details like Doc's house burnt down. So, Doc has this big, huge, beautiful house and he's been living in his garage. So, that's the stuff I remember the most.
Yeah, very cool, very cool. Yeah, so he goes into the diner, asks for a Pepsi free, and we go into that whole thing. And he ends up getting a cup of coffee. And my thing is, even if you're getting a cup of coffee, you still gotta pay for the fucking coffee. Do you not have any? I know you're a teenager. I know you're a school. Okay, so let's just get this out of the way so we can set this up for the other episodes. He's supposed to be a 17-year-old high school student because we have to make sure the math lines up. 17 when we go into the future, 30 years, he's 47, yada, 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 yada. Does he? I know he doesn't have a job because he's a high school slacker and doesn't. I don't know how. I honestly don't know how Marty gets.
He gets an allowance. Didn't you get an allowance when you were a kid?
But they don't even talk about that. They don't even mention that. His parents and one line, one little bitty line. his dad could say, "Oh, Marty, here's your allowance," or "Oh, Marty, come here," or or he could say, "Oh, well, blah, blah, blah," something little, tiny, whatever. Or he could have just forked over the cash for the coffee before he ran out of the thing. Didn't even have to say a line.
Didn't he put change down on the counter?
I honestly don't remember at this point.
I'm pretty sure he put some change down. And I was like, Isn't that 1980s coins? I guess the guy didn't look at it too hard. I'm pretty sure he put some change down.
Okay. All right.
Well, I'm like 80% that he put. And also, didn't he have... It wasn't really established, because, it wasn't really that important. But Doc has the suitcase of all the bills from all the different eras.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
And I don't know if that was in the car, or I don't know if he'd loaded. I think because he was ready to go by the time.
Yeah, he was.
The Libyan
you're
show.
right. You're right. I keep forgetting about Doc having all the various timeline money. I always forget about that because it's such a.
They did establish it, and you weren't paying attention.
No, I just forgot about it. You're right. Okay. All right. Well, I don't know. For me, what I remember about this is practically everything. And this time I was paying attention kind of to the changes to see. It's kind of like his line. Okay, guys, this is the tempo. This is this. Keep your eyes on me for the changes. Oh, boy. The decor changes between the original McFly house and the new McFly house after the future changes. Wow. That's crazy.
What's weird is their house is much nicer, and they've obviously got more money.
Yeah.
But, they also make a big deal that it's George's first book.
Yeah.
They're your first book is here, and it's well, then what? Because the impression is, he became a famous novelist, but he hadn't yet. No, because his first book was here.
Yeah,
that was a little weird.
Well, I think the first book being there is more so of. Those are.
One thing if it was the new book, but it was because Biff actually says your first book.
Yeah,
or somebody says your first book.
Yeah,
I'm also, it is a little weird. They kind of deal with it in the second film, but they make a big deal of that Lion Estates is kind of run down,
right?
And I don't know why it would be nicer because of things Marty wouldn't they be in a different house?
Maybe
they've got money and they're doing better. Dave has and it's weird because Dave has an office job, but he's living at home, and the sister also looks more put together. It's why are you guys still at home? You have an office job. Go away. You're wearing a suit and tie. Get out. Get a house. Yeah. This isn't 2025. Get a home.
Yeah. The thing about the book, though, I will say that sometimes what they will do is they will do the promotion and everything else and all this and all that and everything else. And they will, as they're doing all of that, you get sent your copies as everything is hitting. So if the book becomes a success, even though it's your first book, if it becomes an overnight success and the money gets rolling in, that's the only way I could see it.
But that house isn't an overnight house.
Okay, well, I mean, time travel. The inside of that house kind of changed overnight. I mean, I don't know.
You know what I mean? It's not they were living in one house one day and then, my book is selling really well.
Oh no,
I don't have copies of it yet, so I'm gonna furnish the house, buy Marty a truck. Oh, and then the promotion's happening. That's. I'm just saying it's a weird. Little, I get this. Yeah, it's cute, but it struck me as weird that it was. I just wish they had been your new book.
Yeah,
to establish that he'd been an author for some time.
Yeah. At the beginning of the movie, look, I know Marty's a teenager. I know teenagers love everything loud. But why would you turn all of that up that damn loud and stand right in front of it knowing? Like,
he's a teenager. First of all, it's for a joke. Second of all, teenagers have a very poor grasp of what life's going to be like in their 40s or 50s. You know, they're like, "Oh, I'm not going to go deaf. I'm not going to, be crippled. I'm gonna loud and blah blah blah." And then they get to they're like, "I can't hear anything." They don't know no better. They're stupid. That's why they're supposed to go to school.
Speaking of school, are those my clocks? Yeah, they're all going off at the same time. It's 8:00. Great, my experiment worked. They're all 25 minutes slow. 25 minutes slow. Damn, Doc, I'm late for school. And then Power of Love kicks in, and we go truck surfing. Oh, boy. Trucks. Oh, boy. So he gets to school. We meet Mr. Principal. Mr. Principal is none other than the future.
Is he the principal or is he the vice principal?
I don't.
It's usually the vice principal that deals with that kind of stuff.
True, very true. I don't know, but Mr. Strickland would go on to be in Top Gun. He would go on to be in Masters of the Universe. I love this guy. He's so very good. He just has that look. He just has that voice. You're a slacker, McFly, just like your father. Very, very awesome. We get to the band auditions, and what a cameo
by Huey Lewis.
I was going to say, yeah, what a cameo. I'm afraid you're just too darn loud.
We never see those other guys again.
Nope.
Marty's pals, Marty's band.
Yep, nope. Do you know what this means? It means this damn thing doesn't work at all. I love Doc.
Oh, one thing I didn't know until seeing it this last time and my friend was like, "Oh, like one of Biff's goons." Speaking of cameos, is Billy Zane?
Yep,
I didn't know that.
Yep.
This is the first film. I don't know about his future. I don't know if Griff's. I don't know about Griff's goons and Mad Dog's.
The second one, yeah. Oh my God! Wait, really? No way! I didn't know that.
Fascinating.
Oh my! Wow. Yeah, fascinating is I'm about to I didn't even remember this. Do you know who Lorraine's father is?
No.
I didn't notice this until now, and I should have noticed by the voice. Cast appearing in the 1955 portion includes George DeCenzo as Lorraine's father. Hordak from She-Ra is Lorraine's father. The voice of Hordak in She-Ra, Princess of Back to the Future has a He-Man connection. Oh my God. I never knew that. I've seen this movie so many damn times. I never knew that was George DeCenzo. This is the first time I've ever. Obviously, I've seen Back to the Future multiple times, but this is the first time I've realized that's who that was. Back to the Future is probably the only movie I've ever seen George DeCenzo in live action. I don't ever going down his filmography. Yeah, Frisco Kid.
Ooh, that's a good film.
Yeah, it's a good film. House of Dark Shadows from 70, Going Home 71, Las Vegas Lady 75. He was in Close Encounters of the Third Kind in 77, Major Benchley. Gangster Wars in 81, Back to the Future, About Last Night, Walk Like a Man. Yeah, I've never seen him in anything else. Even in the TV shows that he was in Kojak in 75. I'm surprised he wasn't in Columbo. He was in the Rockford Files. I'm really surprised he wasn't in Columbo. He was in Magnum. Interesting. Oh, wow. He was Ubu in Batman the Animated Series. Huh. Interesting. Anyway, yeah, that's, there's your, I was looking, the reason why I even brought I was looking for the bullies. That's what I was looking for, to see where the bullies come in. But,
speaking of cross whatever, Hill Valley is the same set that they filmed Kingston Falls on from Gremlins.
Oh, nice. Interesting.
So it's the same town. Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Maybe we can send the Gremlins back to the past.
That would be very bad. Well, first of all, they'd screw up the time machine.
That's
Secondly,
very true.
It would not be a good idea.
No, not be a good idea at all. So let's see. The one thing that I wanted to bring up this time around in discussing this film is the line where Marty says to Doc, he's never stood up to Biff in his life. And then Doc's like, never? Question mark, question mark, question mark. No, why? What's the matter? Is this ever answered? Because Doc then just basically
because they're rushed for time to get the machine to get the thing in the lightning strike. So there's no time to talk about it, and he's just like, okay, well, we'll worry about that. We don't have time to. Like the implication is to set up that the future is going to be different. That's the whole point.
Okay,
it's a subtle little like, oh, well, he did this time, and there's going to be changes.
Okay, right, but I think my question is more about, is this ever brought up? Is this ever answered throughout the rest of the franchise?
When?
I don't know when.
When do they have time to sit down and go, let's talk about this one little change that you made? I mean, that's kind of the whole point of the earlier film. Okay, when he gets home, he sees the truck, Jennifer shows up, go to the future. When are they going to stop and talk about the fact that George McFly is no longer a loser? And it was also a positive one that didn't end up. I mean,
true.
It caused caused the kids to be better. It caused the entire neighborhood to be better. So,
true.
That line literally exists to prime the audience to expect the future will be different.
Okay. I was just kind of curious to know, especially with what happens in the second movie. I was wondering if it ever was brought up, if it was ever answered. And it obviously never is.
When they go to the future to stop Marty Jr. from falling in with Griff's gang, there's no time for this conversation, ironically.
And yet they have all the time. Yeah, I was going to say, and yet they have all the time in the world because they have a time machine.
Well, they very rarely ever use. Well, I mean, first of all, it's a very temperamental time machine.
Yeah, it is.
Rarely works the way they want it to. Also, the one time that he does try to take advantage of that, the fact that it's a DeLorean kicks in and it stops working, so he's got to run to the Lone Pine Mall.
Yep. Remember, folks, don't ever lend one rich egomaniac a lot of narcotics.
Okay.
That's an old joke. It's an old autonym joke. Comedian I used to know, Al April, used to do these autonyms. So you take the first letter of whatever the car make or model or whatever is, and you make sentences. You make words out of each of the first letters. Ford is found on road dead, or first on race day, or whatever. Ford backwards, drivers return on foot. So DeLorean is, don't ever lend one rich egomaniac a lot of narcotics because of who John DeLorean was.
Yeah.
Back to the Future, 40 years. This film, they captured lightning in a bottle with this movie. I absolutely love it. It's a movie that I wasn't even some movies that are this long, even though 116 minutes doesn't, almost 2 hours doesn't feel that long to me. Some movies like this, I'll feel like I'll have to check the clock. This did not feel that long to me. This felt like it zoomed by. It's well written. It's well acted. For practical effects and stunts for 40 years ago, I think those hold up.
I agree. Well, I mean, first of all, like, even though it is a science fiction movie, kind of, like, there really aren't that many. You know, the DeLorean shoots out some things before it goes through time, but it, aside from it flying at the end, there really aren't that many, special effects. It's all setting and design, and but I mean, the film looks great. It's
besides, the DeLorean stuff is practical effects, but like, I don't know. I guess what I mean by practical effect is, if you made this movie today,
it would all be CGI and terrible.
Okay, yeah, yes, but like,
he filmed on the volume.
It'd be filmed inside that Disney Mandalorian.
That's the volume
thing. Okay, that's. I wasn't sure if it had a name or not, but like the hook line would be CGI. Like, that's at least a practical thing. Like, the bench that the homeless guy is sleeping on, at least that's real. It's a setting, I know, but it is what it is. Did the film keep our interest throughout? Yeah. Like, yes. I wasn't aching for a bathroom break watching this movie. Are we itching to watch the next film now? Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Well, actually, the second one is kind of like, I will acknowledge the first one is a classic. It's a great film. Yes. But I kind of love the second one the most.
Okay.
Because it's the most sort of chaotic, time travel-y shenanigans.
Yeah, the second one has way more time travel shenanigans in it. The first one is very straightforward. You start out with a boy who has this, like, mentor kind of guy who's up to these shenanigans, who steals this plutonium, who blah, 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 and you have to go on this adventure. You go back in time 30 years. The dude goes ahead in time. It's kind of this back and forth adventure that goes forward. But the second one, it's kind of like how Daffy Duck describes trying to get to Planet X. You go due up, and then you go due left, and then you go down diagonally 70 degrees, and then you go forward, backward, upside down, triangular. It's every which way, the second one.
For me, it's more like the old Treehouse of Terror episode where they did Sound of Thunder, where it's like the first one is Homer is trying not to step on anything. Yep. He does step on a butterfly. And then the second one is he's finally lost his shit and is smashing everything in sight. You just have that shot of the Simpsons house like changing 100 different times as he's just smashing everything. It's just like, ah!
Yeah, it's crazy. But yes, we are definitely itching to watch the second one, the next one now. Would we recommend this film to people? Absolutely. Even though this film is 40 years old, it's an amazing movie. The only...
You know what's depressing? You realize that there's more time between us and this movie than there is between Marty and the 50s.
Oh, shit.
It was 30 years between Marty's journey, and it's 40 years between us and...
Yeah, okay,
and the movie. So people watching it now, it'd be like a double time travel thing. Wow, the 80s are so weird. And then they go back to the 50s. It's like, holy shit.
Yeah. So the movie takes place in 85.
Yes.
He was 17.
Okay.
Right?
Sure.
So that means he was born in 1968.
Huh?
Okay. So I'm just trying to math right here.
That makes about, because I was 71.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So if he
I was 14 and I was born in 71.
Right.
He's a couple years older than I am was supposed to be a couple years older than I am.
Yeah, so if he was born in 68, he's 57 now. Because he would have been... Yeah, okay, yeah. It's crazy. The time it's all over the place. But yeah, the coolest thing about and again, I'm glad they set this up in a way where you don't want to stop at the end of this movie. You want to continue on the journey, but if you wanted to, you could. You don't have to, but you could. Because really, I mean, I don't know. When I watched it this time, because I've watched it so many times and I know what happens. If my brain was like, okay, if my brain was like this, my brain isn't like this, thank God. But if my brain was like this, okay, cool. Like, if my brain was like, okay, cool, movie over, the car doesn't come back. They're going to go off and they're going to go on their little lake.
Jesus, that's dark.
Yeah, no, I know.
The car doesn't come back. Would they go to Warhammer?
No.
They go, that car never comes back. They just fly off into the future and they're never seen again.
No, but if Doc didn't come back, they would have gone to the lake date and they would have gone on with their lives. And Doc would have done whatever Doc was going to do.
Crappy lives.
Funny.
No, I mean, they were crappy because, okay, so, I mean, it's one of those questions about time travel movies, like, presumably the future that Doc went to is the future that, like, you always got to kind of think, it's the future that, like, he didn't come back for them because they've gotten married. Marty is kind of a miserable, because they had the accident with the rich guy, which they talk about, and he wrecked his truck, and he just became like a failed businessman. Yeah. And I don't know what Jennifer is. She an alcoholic like Marty's mom?
I don't remember off the top of my head.
And then all their kids are weird because they all have their dads. Like the one thing this movie doesn't really understand, the first movie understands, but the rest of the movies don't, is that genetics. Like when you mix your genes, you don't just have one parent be the dominant genetic.
Yeah.
Like Marty didn't play George. A different actor played George, so Marty looks different. Whereas Marty Jr., Martina, I don't remember the daughter's name, but he plays his kids. And then he plays his ancient ancestor in the old like and I get it's supposed to be cute. Well, like the part of me is like, this is not how genetics work. Anyway, Marty's a loser in the future.
Yeah.
In the futuristic year 2015, where everybody wears two ties, cars fly, and we got ripped off. You got cheated, man.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about
my flying DeLorean at.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about that in the beginning of the next episode. 0 to 5 with half points. What are you going to give Back to the Future?
Oof. I mean, I want to give it a 5 because it's a classic and it's great. And there are no, I can't think of any problems that the movie had. I mean, we've been bringing up dumb little quibbles, but like, I got to give it a 5. Like, look out of the theater feeling great.
I think the only, and I know I'm nitpicking, but it is kind of, I can get past it because I know it doesn't end up happening, but the whole thing with him and his mom, because he saved his mom and then she fell in love with her son. That's the whole
premise of the movie.
I know, but it's the only thing I have to take a point off for, so I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. That's the only reason. Like, that bedroom scene when he wakes up and oh God, no. Because we as the audience know, even though he doesn't.
You're supposed to be.
I know. You're supposed to feel awkward and weird and whatever. And I know it's only the one scene and every other part of the whatever is fine.
No, they're in the car.
It's
okay.
No, but I'm saying it's the only one. Yeah. And she's like, oh, I feel like I'm kissing my brother.
My brother.
Oh, thankfully. Oh, boy. The coolest thing about the time travel, though, one of the coolest things is that when he goes back and he sees his Uncle Joey, he's like, oh, you like being in the playpen, kid. Get used to these bars. I love that they did that they had the cake in the beginning and then they actually show Uncle Jailbird Joey as a baby. It's hilarious. But seriously, folks, Back to the Future, absolutely amazing. Very awesome, very awesome. We are going to take a quick ad break. You're going to hear some podcast ads and some other stuff. We'll come back to close the show right after this.
Hey, Scott!
Hello, geeks and geekettes! Looking for a podcast that covers a vast array of topics? Then check out Altered Geek Unleashed, where we discuss our thoughts on this week's geeky news, tech, gaming, television shows, movies, cartoons, comics, and more. So, get altered, get geeky with the Altered Geeks. Every Friday on the Geekcast Radio Network.
Because the world needs another movie podcast.
The Geekcast Radio Network presents for your listening pleasure the Cinema Geek.
Hosted by Amanda, Kevin, Matt, and Dan.
Each week we dive headfirst in the landscape of movies as we discuss movie news, play movie games,
go in-depth on reviews,
and even have a top 10 countdown or two.
Also, don't miss our director retrospective series, where we review noted directors' movies film by film. Bottom line is, if you love movies and love podcasts, you need to experience the Cinema Geeks.
You can find us on iTunes or geekcastradio.com.
On the Simplistic Reviews podcast, we talk movies. We talk TV. We talk...
Hello, Julie, what the heck are you doing?
Trying to make our spots sound more exciting by adding explosions.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you could have got the point across with sound effects, not the real thing. Car.
Download the show on iTunes or at simplisticreviews.blogspot.com.
I'm sure your insurance company will cover that.
No, they won't.
No, they probably won't.
What's up, folks? My name is Mike, and I am the host of the Mike Seibert Radio Podcast, your favorite Transformers adjacent podcast, and I've got 60 seconds to tell you all about my show. Good thing I've got a catchy theme song to do most of the work for me.
Mike Seibert Radio, we talk about stuff and things, lots of guests in-depth interviewing. Mike Seibert Radio, it's nobody's favorite show. Movies, comics, video games, and TV.
I also talk about the Transformers the movie about as much as I talk about Boba Fett. My guests are independent artists who tell their stories and give terrific advice about pursuing your creative interests, and I encourage you to do the same thing, even if I can't take my own advice. Brevity is not my first best strength, but you can subscribe to Mike Seibert Radio on most podcast apps so you never miss an episode. Make good choices.
It's time for Mike Seibert Radio.
Hi, welcome to Up Nerd. What is Up Nerd? Up Nerd is a podcasting network of shows hosted by me, The Uneven Flow. People have told me I like to talk at them about a pretty wide range of topics, comics, games, movies, books, whatever, and now I'll be able to talk at you. Along with the weekly show will be 2 bi-weekly shows. First we have Find You Pick, a show where one host picks a movie, then both hosts have to watch it. Then the next episode, the other host picks the movie. Each show will have a breakdown of why it is that movie was picked by that host, after which will be a discussion about what it is we just watched. Lastly, we have the show Top 3, Bottom 3. Similarly to Find You Pick, one host picks a television series, and the next week, the pick alternates to the other host. Here, the episodes of the show are chosen by the top 3 episodes and the bottom 3 episodes, as rated on imdb.com. Yes, this is probably the worst way to watch and review a television show, and yes, that's the idea. On our shows, I'll detail out how you can suggest things for us to watch. You can reach out and talk with the hosts, and maybe even appear on an episode. I hope you'll join me for this exciting new podcast adventure. I swear we're going to make it more than 8 episodes.
You better back up. We don't have enough road to get up to 88.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Hey, Marty! Marty, I wanted to show you these new matchbooks for my auto detailing I had printed up.
flying DeLorean?
All right, folks, we are back here inside Studio 2009, episode 185. This is the 40th anniversary of Back to the Future. So that's that. I want to remind everyone to check out the Back to the Future comics from IDW Publishing. Get the trade paperbacks for those. They are very, very awesome. If you want more... when IDW announced that in 2015 that they were doing Back to the Future comics and we got more tales from the timelines and everything else, really fun. If you want more Back to the Future past the 3 films, really
and the animated series.
Stories. Yeah, there's the animated series too. Yep. There's also the animated series. I used to have it on DVD. I don't think I have.
I do have it on DVD.
Very cool. So check all of that out. Obviously, you can get Back to the Future on 4K now. You can get it on other formats as well, but there's that. Any final thoughts from you, sir, before I run through the closing?
No, it's a great film. Like it's sort of I almost feel bad. It's like our generation got all the good films. But to be fair, we had like Spielberg and we had a lot of stuff. Like I think someday there'll be a PhD dissertation about the movies of the 80s. Now everything kind of like the studio system collapsing in the 60s, the auteur directors of the 70s, Lucas with the special effects, with Lucasfilm and revolutionizing the effects industry. Sort of all those things came together to create probably even the Reagan era with the pro-American attitudes came together to create the movies of the 80s. It'll be an interesting read.
Ronald Reagan, the actor? Sorry.
Who's Secretary of the Treasury? Jack Benny?
Had to... Now all I have in my head is Owl Jolson. Wait, that was Jack Bunny, not Jack Benny.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Thank you for joining us here inside the studio. If you'd like to get in contact with us or leave feedback for the show, there are several ways to do so. Visit the website, geekcastradio.com, where you can listen to and comment on all of our content. Plus, we have a brand new Fourth Wall store on the website. Visit shop.geekcastradio.com and get all your GCRN merch for the end of 2025. Obviously, you can still get it in 2026, but we are coming to a close for this year. Send an email to feedback@geekcastradio.com. You can check us out on all the podcatching clients you choose to use. You can join our Discord. You can go over to the website post, and the Discord link for the GCRN Discord will be there. You can become a fan on Facebook. Go to facebook.com/geekcastradio, and also join Studio 2009 over there as well. Join us next time. That's not the right thing. Okay, hold on. Let me see over here. Join us next time when it will be the Origins in Television with Steve Megatron. So that's what's coming up next, folks, on the podcast. For now, I am TF2 and Mike with...
Here's Ripper.
You'll hear us back in the studio soon.
Next Saturday night, we're sending you back to the future. The future has finally arrived. Yes, it is different than we all thought. But don't worry. Just means your future hasn't been written yet. No one's has. Your future is whatever you make it. So make it a good one.